When we were all younger, did you ever wish you could make a living playing video games? I didn't because I didn't think it was possible. Otherwise, I totally would have. It is possible now with pro gamers for, say, League of Legends, Dota 2, and even some other games. But what if it were to become way more widespread and blockchain brings about what I call an ownership society in gaming? Imagine owning some in game assets that become so valuable and the passive income you receive from the game is more than you need to pay all your bills for the month. Is that possible yet? Not yet, but what I am thinking is, and what I am looking out for is opportunities that I think will do well with blockchain gaming because there is some serious money to be had from smart investment decisions in the right places. During the crypto winter, I went back to playing a lot of video games as I looked forward to this blockchain revolution in gaming that I saw that was coming. I also invested in two of the first blockchain games, Axie Infinity and Gods Unchained. With Axie, I saw my initial $4,000 investment go to 400,000, and if I had held just a few months longer, it would have been about $5 million from a $4,000 investment. Not bad, right? Gods Unchained saw a very nice reward as well, and I still hold most of the stuff that I purchased and have already made over a 10x return on it. Now, the time to make those kind of returns on those projects might be over, and I'm looking for a better level of games as blockchain games start to catch up to higher levels we're used to in regular games. And let me clarify, like Axie Infinity was a great first game, but if you've played it, you know that it's very basic gameplay loop, and unless they really upgrade the gameplay loop and give it a lot more depth, it can't hold people's attention, though they really prove this whole play to earn idea. Gods Unchained is a popular card based type playing game. Now, that is a style that's very popular, and that could continue to go further because I think it's pretty well positioned in a play style that certain people already like. So I don't know that their quality on that needs to catch up. It's at the cutting edge of kind of card games on the internet with actual assets. But so I just want to clarify that. Overall, though, blockchain gaming still has a long ways to go to be as cool as Fortnite, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, EVE Online, League of Legends, etc. But as it gets there, there's likely some amazing money to be made. And I like to cover a lot of altcoin projects that I think have strong potential. I will likely be covering more and more gaming projects in the coming year, as I feel this is an area where some of the strongest returns on investment might happen. Today I'm going to cover the early alpha gameplay for MetaFighter. Welcome to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Rain, and if you like money in crypto and are looking for a real investor take on the crypto market, join the Rainmaker family. Do note I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a crypto investor myself. I do own or plan to own most of what I talk about on this channel because I don't talk about crypto projects I don't believe in unless I specifically state that. Special shout out to our Patreon members. We do have a private Discord there. Our Patreon members get access to. Now, make it rain on that like button and strap in for the show. Let's get right into this. MetaFighter has some parallels of one of my favorite games I played when I was 14 called Street Fighter 2. And it's in the early alpha stage, so do keep that in mind. And I've got the game here. In fact, let me move this around. So I've got it loaded in here, and we're going to go to training, and we're going to pick a fighter. Now, right now, there's three characters that you can play. Freeman, this is like a kind of a mechanical robot cop. Fang and Alga, I played with each of these, and so I'm just going to pick Fang here because I feel like his movement is the most developed, though you can tell this is still very, and it's very basic gameplay, right? So that they have so far. So I can crouch, I can punch or kick. I don't think they really have the combos developed into it, like back twice and then forward. Doesn't seem to be doing a special move yet. That will probably be worked in. What you can tell is the graphics are very good. So a lot of what you're seeing here, this is what you're used to. So you got the health bar, you got, this might be stamina bar here. I'm not quite sure. It's showing who you're fighting against. Notice how the background moves very well. That looks good. Okay, so that's coming together very well. And my guess is they're updating the style. Now, whoever's on the left side gets the better lighting, or maybe that's just over here. See how the lighting gets a little bit better? And then it goes kind of faded over here. That's just the arena thing. So this is fairly early alpha, and they wanted some people to kind of test it out for them. I volunteered to go ahead and test it out. So yeah, you're seeing the lighting get a lot better here. And you see moves like, just if you're moving forward in kick, it's a different move than if you're moving back in kick. So this is forward in kick. This is back in kick. This gives you a feel of the gameplay right there, where it is so far. Essentially imagine Street Fighter 2, and that's what you've got, right? So if we're to exit out, go to main menu, we can go to this different hero. You see what this looks like, and go to full screen. So she's kind of cool. I like the brass knuckles, and the hairdo is pretty cool. So she's got different moves that are unique to her style, and it's pretty fluid movement. I like that. So much the same as the other. You can jump over and then you position yourself on the other side. It looks like on the far side, you do have the ability to like knock them off if you take them all the way to the edge. It does have an edge there, but in this training, you're not able to knock them off. And if you get their health down, it just resets it, because this is a place for you to practice your moves. So not bad for their early alpha. I wanted to show you a little bit of the pitch deck, because I'm still an investor as much as I'm a gamer. And I think about the investment side. So where will this go? And the truth is, we don't really know, right? And if you had joined me on the journey of buying Axie Infinity, realize that there was a lot of steps along the way that were frustrating. I bought land was the investment I made. Actually, the AXS token didn't come out till much later. They did with the land, they gave you some Luna tokens. No, not that Luna that just failed, but they were called Luna. And when they came out with AXS token, they essentially, you're able to convert your Luna tokens to AXS. So you were able to get some AXS tokens through owning land, which was nice. But also the land values did incredibly well. And so that's what I bought, but realized that from when I bought, which was like January 2019, to when it really, really did well, which was March 2021, that was a frustrating almost 2.5 year time period. That during that time, the values dropped by a lot before they did end up doing really well. Why? Because games take a while to develop, and it's hard to see down the road what it's going to end up looking like until you're there. And by then, the price is already going crazy. So with some of these games, you don't know how it's going to turn out. Along the way, there's a couple times where I thought maybe Axie Infinity wasn't going to make it. And they did. They pulled through and really proved the play to earn gaming environment exists. So I did go to their website. You can click on their pitch deck and pull it right up, their white paper as well. And they're calling it Fight to Learn, Fight to Earn, and Fight to Gain. So essentially, through playing the game, you can earn some different things and get some different NFTs. It does go through some of the token or the size of the gaming industry and why there's so much money there. And there is a ton in gaming. And I think that's going to continue to increase, especially as the ownership society around owning virtual land in certain metaverses or certain games really becomes a bigger thing. I think more money will go into gaming, but already there's significant funds in it. And I think over the coming 10 years, a lot of those funds that are already in it kind of get directed towards what I call an ownership gaming society, where you get to actually own the items. By owning them, that gives you the right to sell them. Is it fair to say when you play different games like Dota 2, you might have these cosmetic skins, and you can sell them within, say, the Steam ecosystem, but those funds are trapped within the Steam ecosystem. I'm talking about NFTs where you can sell and extract the value to your own bank account if you want. You might have to make a few cryptocurrency conversions into, say, ETH, which is then withdrawable to whatever fiat currency you have. But that truly you can extract the value from that is gained from those over time. So this is the game, and essentially it's an arcade fighter. Each fighter has unique characteristics and differs in design, fighting skills, animation, and story. You could trade, rent, and lend dynamic NFTs, fighter skins, experience boosters, special powers, and fighting arenas. Fair to say that this gaming style is one that's pretty popular. Now, this game is in the early alpha. It's hard to tell at this point how much it'll compare to those, and hopefully it'll compare quite well. They do have a marketplace on this. It's not active yet. If you hover over it, you see coming soon. So you don't know what that looks like. Looks like you can trade your NFTs. You can stake your tokens. You can stake them for NFTs or you can stake them for skills, which is a really interesting token metric. We haven't really seen yet where you stake your token for skills. You can get 2x XP if you lock for 30 days, 4x XP if you lock for 90 days. Pretty cool, right? And so whether this game is going to be really successful, I don't know, but I like it enough that I own some of the tokens and I'm willing to take that risk myself. Here's a little bit on the tokenomics on the total supply. So essentially 1.5 billion MF tokens for MetaFighter tokens. Now, if you look at the pricing right now, the seed was at 0.8 cents. Looking at CoinGecko right now, the price is 0.3 cents. So it has been devastated and it's below the seed price, which is, in my opinion, a much better time to buy than if you were buying for, say, 5 cents or almost 5 cents right here. It's fallen down way down here, and this is a much better time to accumulate than when prices are high. Now, whether this is for you, really, that's up to you. You get to make your own decisions on this. It's risky. A lot of these games are going to fail, and some of them are going to be really successful. And my guess is some of the early NFTs that have like higher rarity because there weren't that many people playing the game, especially if they fix the total number of them down the road as more players come into those games, then some of those NFTs will have really high value. As to which games that'll happen with, I'm diversifying across a lot of them because I don't know exactly which ones will be successful. I didn't know whether Gods Unchained and Axie Infinity were going to make it. In fact, I thought more likely that Gods Unchained would make it. Axie Infinity was a higher risk. Yet, because it was a higher risk and it made it, it had way better returns than what I made on Gods Unchained. And so you're looking for appropriate risk versus reward. Looking at some of the team here, you get a feel for their team. Unfortunately, it doesn't say here what is going on with them. It says 2 blockchain devs, 3 backend devs, 3 2D artists, 3 3D artists, 2 animators, managers, testers, community managers, and 1 PR person. Here's some of their backers, and backers are important. So if you look at this, these are some of the upper end of some of the launch pads. Ferrum Network acts as an incubator, and they usually do a pretty good job. I like the network team and what they've done, and they have some really good partnerships. I think that they have a really good future that'll really roll out in the next year or two with some of the partnerships that they've made. So they back this as well. Engine Starter, one of the bigger launch pads, as well as Bullperks, another one of the biggest launch pads. So, and TrustSwap has a good name. So decent launchpad investments here. Yeah, like, and it's at a really good price. Now, that's not to say it won't get cheaper. If you follow my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of Ecomi, and Ecomi got really, really cheap there during the bear market, during the pullback. And don't you all wish you could go back a year and a half ago and buy Ecomi at like 0.0000001 cents or whatever it was, like 4 or 5 or 6 zeros. And then it went to 1.4 cents in March of last year. And even now it's trading at about 1/10 of that or 90% of that, or excuse me, it's down 90% of that. So just, it's about 0.15 cents. But you would still be way, way, way up if you had bought it during that interim period from when they launched and their token dropped tremendously. And then their vision started to roll out. So that's what I'm on the prowl for, is really good investments on things that might do well. I want to show you the alpha for this game just so you could get a feel for it, see if maybe you liked it or didn't like it. It's a lot of guessing game here, and I like to try to buy things when they're cheap and then be patient. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, I totally would have bought Axie Infinity Land. I would have held it, but would you have? Maybe that is true. Maybe you're the patient type that's able to make an investment and you just hold on to it, because there are quite a number of times there that I was really concerned that it would possibly go to zero and be almost worthless. But I just continue to be stubborn and hold on, because I felt like this whole blockchain gaming idea was revolutionary and that it would catch on. Turned out to be very right on that. Now, a lot of momentum from the crypto market is down. A lot of people have kind of left this space. Prices are what I call boring. And so a lot of people are not buying right now. But this is the time when a lot of the gains are made, when things are really cheap and it seems so boring, because the crypto market is definitely slow right now. Just know that good decisions made during these pullbacks lead to life-changing ones when the market turns around. Thanks for joining us. Remember, no rain, no gain.